Hey guys, Rob Skiba here. So yeah, I knew it wasn't going to take long. I mean, it was practically predictable. Uh, as you know, I released a video testing the globe's second high altitude balloon launch. This one was posted July 10th, 2017, and within 2 days, we've got this video that pops up by somebody named Sly Sparkane. Flat Earth, Rob Skiba proves globe. Yep, and then all the comments start showing up right away, right? You know, as usual. Brilliantly done. Another great video. Yet another nail in the mythical land of Flatardius coffin. Next time, Skiba should tie himself to the balloon and see for himself. Rob Skiba is such a naive fool. Yep, there they go. On and on and on. Of course, I'm sure this video will become viral, especially after I'm giving it some exposure here, because this guy has all of 734 subscribers. But I'm going to go ahead and play it, and let's take a look and see if Rob Skiba really proves a globe. Did he? And I'm going to do it in double speed here so we can expedite this process.
Okay, greetings and salutations. Well, I just watched a large portion of it. I'll admit I didn't follow the entire stream of the video that was produced by Rob Skiba just recently. What I mean is the part that I didn't follow all the way through is they did the video of, they played both videos, the camera on the top of the balloon, the camera on the bottom of the balloon all the way through, which was cool, but honestly I skipped through that part because I'm not going to sit through it for an hour. And I just kind of went down to the meat at the end. So, first I would like to say, excellent job on the setup this time. They took they took most of the precautions, but because they didn't lose anything, some of the additional precautions that I listed in the last video, well, turns out they were not necessary for this one because they were able to recover all of the stuff and all the balloon and all this. So this is not going to be a very long thing, okay? But I'm going to bring you through the process of what I just analyzed, okay? And it's pretty simple, and even for a guy like me, I don't get into the super complex stuff. What's going on, Luke? It looks like I have one person watching. Yeah, probably because it is pretty early. All right, so here's what I'm about to go through here. Like I said, they secured the gimbals. They put 2 gimbals on it this time. It didn't seem like they're going through the low light thing this time. That was their choice, I guess. The assembly this time was awesome. They put additional securing of the gimbals onto the payload case. No complaint there. That was the way, honestly, you should have done it the first time, only because of the fact those rubber grommets will not hold it down very well. Okay, so let's see. Let's see. We got 2, but at the end of my lunch. Yeah. Okay, so here's where we're going. Rob Skiba has officially proved the curvature of the Earth.
Let's hear that one more time.
Rob Skiba has officially proved the curvature of the Earth.
Rob Skiba has officially proved the curvature of the Earth. Really? Wow. Cool.
And all the numbers that I'm about to show you are easily accessible. Yes, part of them are numbers. You have to use some numbers to be able to determine exactly what it is that you're looking at. Now you see this stuff. Now I'm going to do all this in PowerPoint and 3ds Max. I already ran through this one time for myself because I'm not going to sit here and put out stuff if I don't know what I'm talking about. So here we go. Okay. Let's see. Bam. Okay. This is the video that he put out. Right now I have it out at 1 hour and 51 minutes. Okay. Like I said, great job on putting together this balloon. This balloon was done very well. It's the best one that I've seen as far as people doing this for the flat Earth research. Now, everybody's pretty much claiming that, and let's see, on the bottom camera, the one that's hanging off the bottom, has a 7.2 millimeter lens, no fisheye. Now, I do have one complaint about what one of the guys said. He says as close to human eye as possible. Sorry, but the human eye actually has more distortion to it than a GoPro lens. But I'll go into that another time. That's all corrected and rationalized by the brain. So, and the one on top is a standard GoPro lens, and I'm not going to analyze that. I've already analyzed that a couple of times on how that works, and honestly, flat earthers just don't get that. So we won't even go there. I'm going to concentrate on this particular point in time. Like I said, 1 hour, 51 minutes, 44 seconds of testing the globe's second high altitude balloon launch.
Okay, so he just said he's going to test 1 hour, 51 minutes, and 44 seconds. So let's go into Premiere. This is the actual file that I uploaded to YouTube, and you can see, this is the project right here, and then this is the overlay with all of the graphics and stuff that I put on here and titles and whatnot. So you see here, it's 1 hour, 51:18. He was at 51:44. And I'm curious as to why he chose that particular frame. I think I know why, but let's just see what's going on here. Okay, this is where we reach maximum altitude. He later says he doesn't understand where we got the numbers from. It's like, well, I put information here for a reason. Okay, that's where the balloon popped right there. You see the rubber from the balloon pop. That's where the balloon popped. And then 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, and here's, let's see, let's get that box out of the way. There we go. So I'm guessing it's pretty close to this frame right here, which is 1 hour, 51 minutes, 44 seconds, and 20 frames. And he's like, I don't know where they got the altitude from. Well, like it says right here, this was the last recorded altitude ping before a balloon popped. 99,806. That was the last known ping, and the APRS tracking updates, I think, every minute or so. So we're speculating that it may have gone another 200 feet before it popped, but okay, whether we're talking 99,800 feet or 100,000, really, are we going to argue over 200 feet? You know, all we're saying is that the last known tracking that we had of the balloon had us at just shy of 100,000 feet. And it probably went up maybe just a little bit more before it popped, because you have a minute or so between pings, and, you know, that's when we get that's where we got our information. And so throughout the video, I was throwing out approximate heights, and I was giving those approximate heights because all through the video, as this balloon was going through this line right here, people who are watching the live stream and observing the APRS tracking live with us were calling out the information as it was given to us. So that's where we got the tracking from. Now, I think that Victor may have also had some additional tracking information that he has yet to post that would give altitude and temperature and all that kind of stuff. I think it's an overlay that you have to assemble the data, and then you can put the overlay on top of the video. I don't know that for sure, but you'll have to contact Victor at the Explosive Truth and see about that. So, but this is how we were tracking our altitude. All right, let's continue.
Okay, now here's what I'm going to do. First, they said that it's just about 100,000 feet. Now I didn't see any data on that, but we're going to go with 100,000 feet because that is their claim, and so I have to take the claim as if it were true.
I didn't see any data on that. Data. Okay.
Let's see. Can somebody explain why it is a 7.2 millimeter lens? It is not a fisheye. It is a fisheye lens or not? No, it is not. The 7.2 millimeter lens is not a fisheye lens. In fact, it is marketed specifically for that. This is the lens that they are using, or at least this is one that can be adapted to the GoPro. And I don't know if this is specifically exactly the one they're using. It looks to me like the face mount is a little bit different, but anyway, 7.2 millimeter lens. Now, the important part on this that I use for my analysis is the horizontal field of view, which is 47 degrees. We'll get into that, the importance of that here in a moment.
No, I also provided this information. I don't know if you watched the videos or not, but there were several videos that I did previous to this one, such as, let's see, all of these right here. Rob, Skiba, Rick Hummer, and Victor Brewer plan to bust Mythbusters. We get into that. And the goals of our high altitude weather balloon test, we get into that and deal with the lens and, you know, all kinds of stuff there. And then, of course, we had our first balloon test, which got higher, got to 118,000 feet. And then we lost the payload. And no, it wasn't a conspiracy. We didn't all of a sudden get footage that oh no, we saw the globe. We better hide it. Anybody who thinks that's an idiot. This was streamed live. People saw it live. They went through the adventure with us live. They saw the balloon go up live. They saw us chase it live. They saw us recover it live. The gimbal was lost. Okay, it's just, you know, it wasn't secured well enough. Whatever. We lost it. That's why we did another one. We wouldn't have done a second balloon launch if we had the footage for the first one. I mean, this stuff costs a lot of money. And we're not into just throwing money to the wind here. So then we discussed what we thought we did wrong in that one, and then we did the second balloon test right here. So we did cover all this information. I actually took a screen capture from this page to illustrate the same thing he's saying here. So, you know, I will say this, you know, I would be a lot more respectful for this video if some of the claims in here weren't so ridiculous. But I will say thank you to Sly he was actually being respectful to me in this, and you know, I think he was being honest here and giving an honest evaluation of what we're doing. I just think he was doing so in ignorance, and I'll explain why in a few minutes.
People would swap out the lens on there, and there are many different types of lenses you can get for a GoPro. It's not just ones that are non-fisheye. But it's marketed obviously as no distortion, which is great for a lot of applications, not just flat Earth. Okay. Here's the in case anybody's looking for this particular product, it's called pewproductions.com/products/GP72025. That's the one that I got the information on. And so that's where we're going to go with this. Now, first, some math. Okay, we'll go through some math here real quick. If you look up the circumference of the Earth in miles, it's 24,901 miles. Okay, that's what Google tells you. Okay, just fine. Circle being 360 degrees, that equals out to 69.17 miles per degree. Okay, simple division. You can look at the formula that I used to do that if you wish to. But now the horizontal field of view. I gotta go over and show you where I got these numbers. But the horizontal field of view is basically going to show you at 100,000 feet, 310 miles of horizon. Okay, as in the width from point to point at the horizon, 310 miles. Which divided by the miles per degree, the 69.17 equals, excuse me, the curvature, the amount of curvature seen at that particular point is 4.48 degrees of curvature. It's not very much, but it is curvature. Okay, now here's where we're gonna go with this. Okay, these are all the numbers I used. You can come back to them. I'm just going to be reading them off beyond this point because I'm not gonna keep on switching the windows over. So now what I did was, and like I said, that is what we should be seeing here is 4.48 degrees of curvature. Now you can already see just by looking at this. I'll even go into full screen. Even just by looking at this, this is not straight.
So what we're seeing here is he did some math, figured out what kind of curvature that we should be seeing, and then he specifically looked for a frame in the video that would fit that preconceived bias. Okay, keep that in mind because it's going to be important as we move forward.
It's pretty close, but it's not straight. Okay, easy enough. Now, here's what I did. Earth curve calculator, first of all. Okay, I put 100,000 feet in. Okay, the eye level height at 100,000 feet. Now, the target distance at this particular point is irrelevant because we're not looking for obstruction here, but the Earth curve calculator will tell you the distance to the horizon. Okay, at this particular height. Okay, so I put a bunch of 9s in here because it doesn't matter what's beyond the horizon at this particular point because we're not measuring obstruction. So the horizon difference at this particular point is 387 miles away, or 387.7 miles away. So using two different triangle calculators. Okay. The 47 degrees of field of view of angle, this would be the point of where the camera was. 47 degrees of angle at 387.7 miles away in each direction results in 310. The base of the triangle would be 310. So that means a width of 310 miles at the horizon. Makes sense? Okay. And at this one, I checked it on a second calculator just to be certain, because you never know. Some of these calculators, somebody's formulas might be wrong, but these formulas are correct and they are both completely accurate as far as doing the triangulation method. It's pretty simple, right? So, like I said, I'm trying to do this fast because there's no reason to make this very, very long, but I need to show you what research I did. And plus, it's almost lunchtime and I'm trying not to delay that. So, let me go over this, and I'm going to take a screen capture. Print screen. Okay, this is a screen capture of, like I said, 1 hour, 51 minutes, 44 seconds of Rob Skiba's video. Now I'm going to open up PowerPoint. I'm going to go like this for the raw shot first. Okay. Now I'm going to crop this in. I got all this other crap on the screen here. I'm going to crop this in like this, crop this in like this. Now there's going to be two techniques that I'm going to show you how I determine that there's curvature in this image. And not only that there's curvature, but the exact amount of predicted curvature per the geometry that I just did. Okay, so here's a screen capture of what I just showed. Okay. Now go here. Oops, excuse me. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to guesstimate, I mean, honestly, where the terminator line is for the Earth, the horizon versus the air and atmosphere above it. Now, let me make that red so you can see that. Okay, now it's very difficult to tell. Okay, so what you have to do is you actually have to do the contrast. Okay, now remember, this is the 7.2 millimeter. Okay, I'm going to use this image for the rest of this. Okay, now 7.2 millimeter. You can see a little bit of bump here, but you could say, well, maybe you didn't start right, maybe you didn't end right, and all this other stuff. So
yeah, well, you can see a little bit of bump here because what you're seeing here is a cloud formation. You've got a whole cloud formation going on right here, and it's irregular. But he's drawn this straight line here, indicating what he thinks might be the horizon, and I think that's reasonable because this is sort of the edge of the cloud layer right here, and so it was a pretty accurate. Obviously, I mean, just looking at this, where you might draw a line for the horizon, and I would tend to agree with this line, a nice straight line. At interestingly enough, at pretty close to eye level of the camera, considering the fact that the camera was tilted down a slight, I think it was like 0.3 degrees or something. Which, if you look at my previous animation that has been circulated all over the internet now, I show that if you're rising up off of a ball, you shouldn't see that. The ball has to drop away. And in a more detailed analysis of the footage that we did, I'm going to have some friends of mine, Mike Kavanaugh and probably Steve Torrance and others, doing some animations for us to show in 3D what should have happened to the horizon if we were rising up off of a globe at the appropriate scale to 100,000 feet. And it drops. It drops as you might expect it would. If you rise up off a ball, the horizon has to drop. Whereas if you rise up on a plane, it's not going to. And but that's for another video. So let's continue here.
Let me go ahead and copy these over to the next slide. Control C, Control V. Okay. Now, using a simple contrast technique inside of PowerPoint itself, you can see that number one, I was a little bit off. And number two, you see that from point to point, it makes a hump.
Yeah, okay. Now, let's address, he does a simple contrast thing in PowerPoint, but let's go to Premiere here. Again, we are at the same frame, 1 hour 51:44. I'm going to do a screen capture, 1:51:44. Put it up here, and I will then take it and edit in Photoshop. Now we'll make ourselves a happy little bar, and I'll color it yellow, and I'll give it a little bit of a stroke. Okay, now let's take this layer and duplicate it and do a more reasonable adjustment, and we'll play with the levels. See what it's doing here? It's getting rid of the haze. Okay. Now this is probably a lot more accurate as far as what the real horizon is versus the hazy horizon here. So let's tweak this a little bit, maybe bring the whites up a little bit more and the blacks down again. So we'll hit OK. We'll throw a little bar over it here, and I'll have to transform it, give it the right angle. And that looks pretty close, I think. And let's see, I'm going to go ahead and crop this like he did so we can focus on the video in question, because this will become important as we move along here. All right, let's go back to his video.
Okay, that's one method. Okay, that's one very simple method. Now, let me take this, copy it over here. Now I'm going to do now whenever you're looking at something, let's say you're looking at a board or you're looking at a sword, right? Now if you want to know that the edge is straight, now if you look at it from the side, as this is, you would not be able to notice if it had any dings or anything like that in it. So what you do is you just do a horizontal compress. Okay, now watch this. First I'm going to group this because I want the line to stay with it. And then all you do is just do a simple, I can't go vertical on this and I can't change the pixels. Okay, but you do a horizontal compress and you can see a very clean and clear line. Okay, a very clean and clear curve. Okay, but I'm not going to be satisfied with that for this moment, okay, because I need to double verify what I'm talking about. So I'm going to put this contrast view back up on here. Now, what did I show a minute ago? Now I showed these numbers a minute ago, and these numbers basically come out to horizon curve degree would be 4.48 degrees. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I already have prepared here in 3ds Max. You can see this is straight and level. There's no faking the earth in 3ds Max. Okay, now I have a plane here, and this plane has 310 per the numbers that were given out here for the field of view of the horizon and by the earth curve calculator. Okay, so I have it broken up into 310 pieces. So each one of these lines represents a mile. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend this by 4.48 degrees. Okay, simple. All right, so let's see, angle 4.48 degrees. Bam. Okay, now this looks pretty incredible. Look how much curvature I've created there. You know, I mean, it almost looks like it's too much. Okay, but it's not. Now watch. Now I'm going to I'm going to render that. Okay, oops, wrong button. I'm going to render that. Okay, and this is what it results in. Okay, now this is a render in 1080p. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to save that. Okay, I already did this one, so there's already one there, but I'm going to name this one special for the, we'll just say it live bend. Okay, .bmp. Okay, okay, live bend.bmp. Cool, got it. Okay, so don't need that anymore. So let's see, in Skiba 2. Okay, now what I'm going to do is okay, this is the live bend picture that I just saved. Cool, you all good with that? All right, I'm going to put it in here. Okay, so now using PowerPoint again, PowerPoint is going to allow me to, in color, set a transparent color. In this case, transparent color is going to be black. Okay, now, this is where this gets fun. These don't really look much like each other. And that's only because of the fact that the picture is actually not perfectly horizontal like it was in 3ds Max. So all I have to do is rotate. That's all I'm doing, just rotating. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay, all I need to do is rotate this. And it is exactly the 4.48 degree curve. It matches it exactly.
Does it really? Okay, let's have some fun now. Interesting, yeah. Compelling. Sounds good. Rob Skiba proves the globe, right? All right, let's see. So let's go back to earlier in the video, right after we lifted off here. Let's see. Let's try. That's pretty good right there. Pretty close to the same angle and distance above the center of the lens that he chose for the 1 hour and 51 minutes and 54 second clip. So this is at 34:40, 34 minutes and 40 seconds. So we'll title that 34:40. And we'll bring that one into Photoshop. Duplicate the layer and create another layer for our happy horizontal line here. Color that yellow. And add a stroke to that. Makes it easier to see. And we'll tweak the levels for this so it's easier to see what's going on here. Okay. Now we'll take our happy little line and orient it level with the angle. And wow, check this out. We've got curvature at less than 1,000 feet. Less than 1,000 feet. Now, let's go back to our friend here. And let me see if I can get a nice clean shot of his little bar. Copy that. Paste it into Photoshop. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to duplicate that, merge these two layers down, and I'm going to free transform my image to match the dimensions of his graphic from 3D Studio Max. And I'll zoom in for you here. Now we will get rid of the black for his little bar. So we just have his bar here. Now we will take his calculated curvature bar and put it over our horizon at barely 1,000 feet. Oh, wow, look at that. Pretty darn close. Huh. So his magical formula for what the curvature should look like at 100,000 feet just confirmed the barrel distortion at less than 1,000 feet. Pretty cool. So if you remember, if you actually watched the video, I said don't get too excited about this footage because it needs to be analyzed. There's clearly barrel distortion taking place here, as Victor showed us in his analysis over here in the video at 2 hours and 25 minutes. He talked about the test that he did right here, and he showed that the lens is in fact showing some barrel distortion. And that barrel distortion is just as visible at the lower altitudes as it is at the higher altitudes. So, I mean, if we're getting, look at this. I'm going to compare, let me compare that to his now.
And it is exactly the 4.48 degree curve. It matches it exactly.
It matches it exactly. So let's copy his deal here. And let's compare. It matches it exactly. See? Here's his at 100,000 feet. Here's mine at 1,000 feet. It matches it exactly. I'm surprised that he didn't choose footage from across the center of the lens. In fact, why don't we just go ahead and do that? Going back to our footage just prior to the pop, that's where it popped right here. Let's see if we get it right about there. That's, I think pretty close to center right there. So let's call that, that's at 151.25. So 1-51-25. And let's bring that into Photoshop. And I'll crop it again just so we can keep our focus where it needs to be. And we'll put our line across here again. Add a stroke to it. Okay. Now we'll do a level adjustment. Okay. And we are still seeing curvature across the center of the lens. And we'll bring our happy bar down and pretty close right there. Okay, so this is literally right before the balloon pops. Still seeing a little bit of curvature, but you're also seeing, I'm kind of questioning this right here because I don't know how well you can see it on your monitor, but it still appears to be clouds. I mean, clouds have depth, right? Clouds have height. So how much of this is actual horizon and how much of this is, even with the level adjustment, how much is, and contrast adjustment, how much of it is the height of the bulge of the top of the clouds versus curvature? This is why I say it's inconclusive. I think both of us are speculating. You know, if you say, nope, that's following the curve of the Earth and the top of the clouds are perfectly flat, so it's following the curve, so see, curvature. Or you say, well, no, clouds have depth, they have height to them, the tops of clouds aren't always perfectly flat, so you could be looking at the bulge of the cloud. You know, I think both of us are speculating here, trying to justify whatever our preconceived bias is. But okay, let's just say for the sake of argument that this is the accurate horizon right there. Well, there's your curvature. And now let's go back to our footage and see if we could find something in our liftoff that's pretty close to the center of the lens. Let's see what happens here. Okay, let's go back. Try to find some kind of level here. Ooh, that's pretty good. It's a little bit above the center of the lens, but let's try this. This is 3509. 35-09. And bring that into Photoshop. Duplicate layer, create another layer, create a happy little bar. Add a stroke to it. And down. And it's still at a very slight angle here, so correct for that. Pretty close. Adjust the layer contrast with the levels here. Huh. Again, we're barely 1,000 feet off the ground here, folks. And even the most hardcore globalist who's intellectually honest will tell you the curve of the Earth is not visible from 1,000 feet. All right. Not visible from 1,000 feet, guys. And go climb a building. There's plenty of buildings that are within about 1,000 feet. And go look out. You're not going to see curvature. And yet here we are seeing curvature. It's a little bit above center of the lens, but still, I mean, it's showing clearly that, I mean, even if a intellectually honest glober will tell you that you can't see curvature at 1,000 feet, and yet we're seeing curvature at 1,000 feet with this lens. I mean, that should be telling you that it's not the curve of the Earth that we're seeing, it's the curve of the barrel distortion of the lens that we're seeing. Copy, copy merged, and we'll bring that over here. And we'll free transform this so that it's roughly the same width as the picture below it. Pretty close, pretty close. And let's get rid of unnecessary video and compare. All right, so there you go. Again, not exact, but pretty darn close. This is showing curvature at 1,000 feet or less, and this is showing curvature at just under 100,000 feet, 99,800 and change. So again, I'm going to go back to what I said in the video, that I knew going into this that it wasn't going to convince anybody. Both sides are going to find evidence to support their claim, just as I said they would. And you could say both sides are just making up excuses to try to justify their claim. That's why it's inconclusive. And if I go back to the original objective of the video, yes, we were hoping, obviously, to see whether it's curved or not. Sure. But I was trying to set realistic expectations, and so I set my goal to simply debunk Mythbusters. And the footage that they were showing and claiming is the curvature of the Earth at 70,000 feet. And I believe we did that. And I also wanted to show the difference between GoPro lens, standard GoPro lens, fisheye lens, and something that is more comparable to the human eye. And I believe we were successful in doing that as well. So those were my realistic expectations and goals for this video. And I believe we achieved those goals. We didn't get as high as I wanted to. I wanted to get to at least 115,000 feet, but what are you going to do? We didn't. We got to 100,000 feet, but looking at this evidence right here, I don't believe Rob Skiba proved the curvature of the Earth. You're welcome to disagree, and I'm sure plenty of people will mock me and write a whole bunch of YouTube comments about how we're just flat tards just trying to justify blah blah blah. Well, I'm just doing the same thing you guys are doing. I'm using the same rationale that you're using. Oh, let's go back to let's take this bar here. Copy over to here. This is his matches exactly bar. No, I guess it doesn't match exactly. Now then, does it? No, not really. He says it matches exactly. This is what the 3D software says the curve of the Earth should be with that angle lens looking out at 100,000 feet. That's what exactly, perfectly. It's the exact curvature right there. Well, not when you use it across the center of the lens. It's not, even with a distorted lens. So, nice try. Now, again, I know that this video will meet with plenty of criticism, just like everything else I've put up. But here's the thing, okay? Sly and the gang and everybody over there on your side of the fence, where's all your criticism of all those who use footage like this as their proof of the curvature of the Earth? Why aren't you going psycho and calling every one of the globetards who point to this sort of thing as their evidence? I mean, we've got people claiming students film breathtaking curvature of the Earth using high-altitude weather balloon. Science Daily, right? You would have thought that the curved rope might have been, your first indicator that you might not be looking at something quite the way you think you are. But even if, they even had another website, the Science Explorer, again, the heading, student project captures images of Earth's curvature. Yep, sure did. Start watching the video, and, I don't know why they didn't just stop the video right here at 2 seconds in. Physics students capture curvature of the Earth at 6 feet.
I mean, look, same curvature. Wow, it's actually greater curvature at 6 feet. Oh man, must be some kind of space anomaly going on here. Physics.org. Students film breathtaking curvature of the Earth using high-altitude weather balloons. Same thing, blah, 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 same nonsense. They got all these screen captures of the curve of the Earth, and it's always the convex curve of the Earth. Why did they post this picture? Physics students at the university prove the Earth is concave. It's unbelievable. If you look at this footage, I mean, it proves the Earth is actually just a big morphing blob. I mean, sometimes it's flat, sometimes it's concave, sometimes it's convex. Depends on which screen capture you want. I mean, you can post on websites everywhere. The incredible morphing Earth. Physics students prove the Earth is morphing. Okay, this is the kind of crap you guys put out as proof. So, as long as you're doing stuff like this, and people in your camp are, by the millions, globetards everywhere claiming that Felix jumped out over planet New Mexico, okay, until you police up your own camp, I'm sorry, but you really don't have much room to criticize. That's just my take on it. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video presentation. If you did, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like the video, and share it on your favorite social media sites. There's a lot more to come, so stay tuned and we'll see you back next time.